Tech for Seniors, episode 61. It is May the 24th. May the 24th. It is a holiday in Canada today. I think Memorial Day is next week in the United States. Is that right? So it's one week later. Congratulations or welcome to everyone today for Tech for Senior. Thank you for coming. Your enthusiasm, of course, is what we thrive on. So it's nice to see everybody out today. We have a big show for you today. And as most of you know, we have two services running today. Today's sort of a special show. We're going to have really, the show is all about Tech for Senior and how to find places and things and all the things that we do at Tech for Senior. But we have two services running today. As you know, we have our Zoom meeting, which is running currently. We've got about 94 people in our Zoom meeting, but we also broadcast over to YouTube. So we're on YouTube Live. So if you can't get into our Zoom meeting because the first 100 people are it's full, then you can go over and look at our live meeting on YouTube. The meetings are a little bit different. We have the meeting today on Zoom is recorded, and we do the recording and edit it and then put it up on YouTube later on. And it, of course, contains the music section and the question and answer section. Those of you who are over on Tech for Senior Live over on YouTube, we stopped the broadcast at about 50 minutes just before the meeting finishes. So anyway, so we have the two streaming services. I want to remind everybody that we also have Tech for Senior Live on Thursday. And we had a really fun time last week with it. Again, Tech for Senior Live is recorded, and you can watch that if you missed it. And that is our Thursday morning recording, and it starts at about the same time. It is broadcast on Zoom, and it's broadcast on YouTube and Facebook. Last week we had Michael Daniels on the show, and this week, of course, it will be Heather Crafter, Michael Daniels' partner in the show. So it should be a lively show on Thursday. It should be a lot of fun. We post, for those of you who don't look at our Facebook page, each day Bob, Hewie, and I post a lot of really cool articles. They're all technology articles on it. So if you don't watch it, you should. And if you want to keep updated on technology, it's someplace where you can go and get the latest articles that are pertinent to what our interests are. And thank you for Bob and Hewie for doing that and helping. But we really do get some interesting articles there. For those of you who are worried about Facebook, you actually don't have to. The Facebook page we have is just a website, and you don't actually have to log in to Facebook to see that page. So thanks so much for coming and for looking at that. Our fundraising event has gone very well and extremely well. We're now 70%, I've reached 70% of our budget. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And Hewie's going to do the thank yous for those of you who have donated. We only have 30% more to do, and we will have our budget for the year done. So thank you for those of you who have contributed. Now, before I introduce everyone, I want to say that we have a star amidst us today. And of course, the star is Ray Baker. Ray has become a sensation, and he, of course, was the sensation on Geeks on Tour show on Sunday. And I was just looking today, and it looks like there's 260 people who have watched that show. And the depressing part for me is I think that's more than when I was on the show. So Ray, what the heck are you doing? So Ray, thanks so much. And I want to also publicly thank Geeks on Tour. They, in reflection of the show that you did for them on Sunday, they made a very generous donation to Tech for Senior, which is not the first one that they've done. So I want to thank Geeks on Tour for that. It does make us closer to reaching our budget. And of course, Ray is now the star. Wow, this is cool. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Hewie, do you want to do the thank yous? Where's Hewie?
I'm muted, but so everything I just said, forget I said it, and I'll start over again. Last week, we did thank several of the people who have donated, and I have a list of people above and beyond those. Liz Milford, thank you. Byron Nate, Gordy and Leah Balweg, Ann Titus, Lord of the Universe, Gerald A. Smith, Edie Taylor Richards, the Glendora Seniors Computer Club, Gene Mulvey, Stu Budarf, and Greg Farrell. Thank you very, very much for your contributions through Ko-fi or Coffee and supporting Tech for Senior.
And yes, thank you. And Bob, how are you doing? What's happening with you this week? You've got your new camera going there.
Yep, new camera and a nice new way of controlling the camera, so I don't look like I'm someplace who knows how far back.
Yeah, pretty darn cool. That's the 920. You got the C920, eh?
C920 from Logitech.
Yeah. Do you want to buy a 910?
Yeah, no. I have another one from Logitech that I have on the other computer. Yeah. But this one was on sale. I think it was less than $80. So
right. All right. And Ray, besides Stardom, what else are you doing?
Well, if you wanted to embarrass me, Ron, you did an excellent job. Thank you very much. I love being on the show yesterday with Jim and Chris. And my attitude is we all work together. We all have a similar goal, promoting technology, particularly among the senior group, and we should work together like that. So I was privileged to be on that show and really enjoyed it. And
if you don't watch their show every Sunday, well, most Sundays, please do that. It is a great show. Dewey, good news for you. You're all good, eh?
Well, not all good, but very, very much better than I was when I had my stroke during the week of May 3rd. 13 days after that, May 16th, was the beginning of a marvelous, every day is better than the day before, and keeps going, thank heavens. Bye now.
Yes, that's great. Thank you. All right. Now, going back in the history as episode 9, if we go back a year ago, just want to let everybody know, we're going to show you how to find this now. But for those of you, episode 9, Bob did a great talk on Google Pay, and he talked about how to use Google Pay. I don't know if Bob remembers that talk. Hewie talked about the problems with invites on Zoom Edge, invites with Zoom Meeting, and also talked about Microsoft Edge. And I did my talk on organizing your smartphone. And I think that's, I've shown that video many, many times. So that's episode number 9. And if you are interested in looking at any of those things, you can go back and look at episode 9 and see what's there. But we're going to show you how to search that today. All right, Bob, are you ready to roll with your security?
I believe I am. Here is the Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending May 21st, 2021. Insurer against ransomware payment gets hit with ransomware. Avedon Insurance Group targeted Asia-based insurer AXA with a DDoS attack and ransomware just a week after the insurance company announced it was dropping support for ransomware payments in France. Just a week after announcing it would no longer cover ransomware payments in France. Global insurance company AXA has been hit with a targeted ransomware attack. The Avedon ransomware group took credit for the attack, telling Bleeping Computer that it also launched a DDoS attack against the insurer's website in Thailand, Malaysia, Hong Kong, and the Philippines, as added pressure to pay the ransom amount. In addition, the group claims that it stole 3 terabytes of data, which it plans to start leaking to the public if AXA does not pay within 10 days. The data includes customer medical records, claims payments, bank account info, ID cards, passports, and more. This is a clear example of cybercriminal gangs defending their business model, commented Avast security evangelist Louis Caron. If companies don't pay, there would be no ransomware attacks. It's as easy as that. AXA supports that idea, and the criminals didn't like that, which is why they attacked AXA, commented to Bleeping Computer that the only information compromised was data from their Thailand office. An UFI security bug lets strangers view and control each other's camera feeds. An UFI security bug gave users complete access to strangers' accounts, including live video feeds, recordings, camera pan and zoom controls, and private account info. While UFI claims to have fixed the problem, they suggest that all users unplug and reconnect their camera hardware and log out and back into the UFI security app. Review Geek reached out to UFI for a statement, which I've added on a separate slide. Their customer's service team will continue contacting those who were affected. UFI baby monitors, UFI smart locks, UFI alarm system devices, and UFI pet care products remain unaffected. For any questions, users can contact their support team at support@ufilife.com. Here is the full reply from UFI to their recent hack. During a software update performed on our servers in the United States on May 17th at 4:50 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a bug occurred offering a limited number of users in the United States, Canada, Mexico, Cuba, New Zealand, Australia, and Argentina. Users in Europe and other regions remain unaffected. Our engineering team identified an issue at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time and immediately rolled back the server version and deployed an emergency update. The incident was fixed at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We have confirmed that a total of 712 users were affected in this case. Although the issue has been resolved, we recommend users in the affected countries to please unplug and then reconnect their UFI security home base. Log out of UFI security app and log in again. All of our user video data is stored locally on the user's devices. As a service provider, UFI provides account management, device management, and remote person-to-person access for users through AWS servers. All stored data and account information is encrypted. In order to avoid this happening in the future, we are taking the following steps. We are upgrading our network architecture and strengthening our two-way authentication mechanism between the server's devices and UFI security app. We are upgrading our servers to improve their processing capacity in order to eliminate potential risk. We are also in the process of obtaining a TUV and BSI Privacy Information Management System certification, which will further improve our product security. We understand that we need to build trust again with our customers. Thank you for trusting us with your security, and our team is available 24/7 at support@ufilife.com. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Time, through our online chat at ufilife.com. Herff Jones data breach affects college students. U.S. cap and gown provider Herff Jones suffered a data breach, which was discovered only when college students who purchased graduation material from the company in the last month complained on social media about fraudulent charges on their credit cards. The victims quickly realized that their common denominator was Herff Jones. Each complaint was for a different amount, usually ranging between $80 and $1,200. But one student claimed a friend of theirs was charged $4,000. On May 12th, Herff Jones issued a statement acknowledging the data breach, saying, "We sincerely apologize to those impacted by the incident. We are working diligently to identify and notify impacted customers. For more, see bleeping computers. Ransomware gangs go deeper underground. After President Biden hinted in a press conference that the U.S. would take action against ransomware gangs, many such gangs have made announcements that they are either disbanding or going private. Biden's comments were triggered by the Colonial Pipeline ransomware incident, which temporarily halted all petroleum operations to 45% of the eastern United States last week. Following Biden's comments, 3 major hacking forums changed their policies to no longer allow ransomware threats or advertisements. DarkSide, the group responsible for the Colonial Pipeline attack, was the first to abandon their operation. Read more at The Record. U.S. cybercrime complaints increase over 100% in 14 months. The FBI Internet Crime Complaint Center reported that between March 2020 and May 2021, cybercrime complaints increased by 1 million. Previously, it had taken over 29 months to reach 1 million complaints. But that same amount was achieved in less than half that time since the pandemic started. The FBI contributes the spike in complaints to cybercriminals taking advantage of people working from home, in addition to the rise of COVID-themed scams. In its Internet Crime Report 2020, the FBI listed the top 3 crimes of the year as phishing scams, non-payment, non-delivery scams, and extortion. Android 12 promises more privacy controls. Google announced this week that one of the features of its new mobile operating system, Android 12, set for release this fall, is a privacy dashboard. According to The Record, the new feature supposedly aggregates all permissions into one section. Google commented that it will give users a simple and clear timeline view of the last 24-hour access to locations, microphone, and camera. A few other new security features, including indicators that the camera and/or the microphone are in use. Apple's iOS 14 already does this using a colored dot. Android will use camera and microphone icons. Also, like iOS 14, Android will show approximate location to be shared instead of the precise address. And that wraps up this week's Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Is a video that Hewie and I have been talking about this for a while now, and we decided we wanted to really tell people, because Tech for Senior is now getting fairly large and complicated as to where to go and how to find things out. Hewie and I have made some 2 videos today on how to move around and how to find things in Tech for Senior, and we'll play these. I'm sure there'll be lots of questions at the end, so we'll save those for the question and answer period at the very end. So let me just start. We'll share the screen.
Good day, it's Ron Brown with Tech for Seniors. You know, with over 200 videos uploaded last year, 2 shows a week, and a whole bunch of Tech for Senior productions this year, it can sometimes be hard to find what you're looking for. So let me explain how to do this. It's going to be really simple. Quickly, if you remember the routine, if you like this video, please click the like, and if you want to see more, subscribe. Let's get on with the show. All right, so let's talk about Tech for Senior. We have 3 different sections. We, of course, have our Monday show, which is produced through Zoom. This is a weekly show. It's 1 hour. It starts at 9 o'clock Pacific time and runs with a question and answer at the end. The second show we produce is called Tech for Senior Live. This is not a Zoom broadcast. This is a StreamYard broadcast that is broadcasting directly to Facebook and to YouTube. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But this is a live production, as the Monday show is, but we're doing this through a different medium called StreamYard, not Zoom. And of course, the third area is all the videos we produce through the year Tech for Senior Productions, and we produce a lot of videos. So how do you find these? How do you organize them? And where the heck do we go with this? All right, let's look at this diagram here. The first thing you see is our Tech for Senior show on Monday. This is broadcast on Zoom. All of you come to the meeting, and for the first 100 of you, you can get into the show. Because of our limits on that, we also broadcast this directly to YouTube. And this is to our YouTube channel, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But this is a live recording, but this does not have the music or the question and answer, but this is broadcast directly to YouTube. The second thing that happens, though, on Monday is we record it to the cloud. So you'll see that we have the recording. It records to the cloud the whole meeting, including the music segment and Q&A. From the cloud, I then take the video and download it, and I edit it. I make us look real good. I take out all the mistakes and clean it all up, and then I publish it to YouTube as well. And this is the edited version, and I usually have this done on the same day around 4 p.m. So there are two versions of the Tech for Senior Monday show on YouTube. There is, of course, the unedited version and the edited version. So you'll have a choice of two. Now, in practicality, what most people do is there's about 60 people that watch the live recording, the unedited one. And I suspect they probably watch it later on in the day prior to me uploading the edited version. We have about 120 people a week that watch the edited version. I also publish the edited version to our Facebook page. So you can see it on Facebook or you can see it on YouTube. So our Tech for Senior Monday show has two editions. There's the edited version, which is, of course, on YouTube and Facebook. And then there is the unedited version, which is on YouTube as well. Now, our Thursday show is broadcast out differently. This is through StreamYard. There's no Zoom meeting ID number required. We use software that broadcasts direct to Facebook and to YouTube. Simultaneously, it's exactly the same recording, and it's not edited. Sort of what you see is what you get, and that's what we do on Thursday morning. So how do you find our YouTube channel? You know, I get lots of questions about, well, yes, I'd like to watch your Thursday show, but how do I find it? Well, if you look down here in the bottom, you'll see the URL or the website that is our YouTube channel. So I want you to copy that down. Now, as we move, sorry, I'm just having some fun with you there. Obviously, nobody wants to copy that down. That is a big chunk of numbers. So what you want to do is, where can you find that? Well, the first thing you're going to look at is you're going to look to the left and you'll see our web page. And on our web page, you'll see the live red cloud there, and this says click here to connect with our live stream, and this will take you directly to our YouTube channel. So this is on our website. If you look over to the right in our newsletter, you will see this is the newsletter that we publish twice a week. It comes out on Tuesday and Saturday. So if you haven't already subscribed to that, please do so. It has all the links in it. And again, you will see the red cloud there, and it says live stream, and there will be a link to the show. So two sites that you absolutely need to know where they are is our Tech for Senior site and Hewie site. Both these sites, Hewie and I spend a huge amount of time making sure the information is timely, up to date, and easy to find. So you need to bookmark both these sites to make sure that you have those easily accessible. Now, the Tech for Senior website, you must use the www. So it needs to be www.techforsenior.com. Bookmark that so you make sure, because that's the clue and that's where all the links are. Now, Hewie has a great website. It has a tremendous amount of information, and you can get there by simply typing hewie.net. So make sure you bookmark both those sites. All right, when you get to our YouTube channel, what will you see? Well, this is an example of what you'll see on the left-hand side. This is our YouTube channel. The first thing I want you to see is there is Tech for Senior Live, upcoming live stream. Ooh, that's interesting. That's coming up this Thursday. So yes, it is. It's on there. It's booked. You can set a reminder so that your YouTube will remind you that, in fact, we are going to be live. Now, what you will not see is the Tech for Senior Monday episode on our YouTube channel. This comes on directly when I turn it on Monday morning about 10 to 9. So if you want to watch our YouTube, our Monday channel on YouTube, what you need to do is just wait. About 10 to 9, you'll see it magically, boom, there will be a screen appear and you'll be able to watch our Monday show. But it will not come up as an upcoming live stream. That's only on the Thursday show. Now over on the right, you'll see, of course, we broadcast, remember I said we broadcast our Thursday show to Facebook as well. And if you look there, you'll see upcoming live event, which is quite easy to see. And then you will, when we start to broadcast, it will show up in the screen. So this is an easy way. You can watch our Thursday show either on YouTube or on Facebook. Now, I'm going to even make it simpler for you. We're going to organize all the stuff for you into what we call playlists. Super simple, and there's only 3 lists that you'll ever need to know. So let me show you how to do this. All right, here are the 3 playlists. There is, first of all, the playlist for Tech for Senior. These are all just around 60 episodes that are there for you, and these are all in a list. The second list is those for Tech for Senior Live. We don't have as many on Tech for Senior Live, but they are all in a list, so you can find them. And then there are all the other productions that we do throughout the year, learning Chromebooks. A lot of the other productions that we do are all in a list, and we call this TFS Productions. Now, you can, these are the websites of these lists, and you could simply copy these sites. But again, who wants to copy all those numbers? So where do you find those playlists? Well, the playlists are found in 2 locations. First of all, you're going to see them in our newsletter. You'll see in our meeting info area of our newsletter, which you should subscribe to, you will see all the links there. You'll find the three playlists right there, and you just have to click those and bookmark them. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. The second area not only is the newsletter, but you are going to find it on our website. And if you go up to the top of our website and see the Tech for Seniors box there, click that and you will come up with this blue logo here, and you'll see the 3 links there. And you'll see Tech for Senior Monday, you'll see Tech for Senior Live, and Tech for Senior Productions. I'm going to show you how that works now, and you can click those and that will load the playlist. So let me show you how that's done. All right, let me show you how to bookmark the Tech for Senior Live shows. Let's go to our website, and we're going to look up at the top and click on the Tech for Senior button. And this is going to bring us to this page. And let's scroll down, and you're going to see all our playlists here. Playlists for Tech for Senior, and I've said these are all clickable links, so please bookmark them. Let's go down to the second one. This is called Tech for Senior Live. Let's click on this. This brings up all our Tech for Senior Live episodes. Now, if we come up and look at the top, you will see this long URL I've been talking about. You don't want to be copying that out, so come over here and simply bookmark it. Now, I'm going to save this bookmark to the bookmark bar, which is just underneath the URL. We're going to click Done. And then when we come back now, you will see, if we look up here, you will see the Tech for Seniors Live button that we have now bookmarked, but it's taking up a lot of real estate. So let's edit this. Right click, click edit, and we're going to rename this. We're going to rename it to TFS-L for live, Tech for Senior Live, and I'm going to save it. Now, when we come back up here on our bookmark bar, you will see that we have this is Learning Chromebooks, but as we come over here, you will now see Tech for Senior Live. It doesn't take up as much real estate. Click the button, and here we have all our episodes that will be updated automatically. So now you've got the playlist bookmark. Everything is easily found. Well, it even gets better thanks to Ellen Farnham. Thank you, Ellen. Ellen has taken all the episodes of Tech for Senior. She's taken them and she's indexed them all into a spreadsheet, which makes all the information in each show searchable. And you can find that now, again, on our website. Under the same location, you'll see at the bottom here, it says Tech for Senior Index. And when you click that, you're going to come to a folder. This is actually on Google Drive, and you'll see two files here. One is a XLS spreadsheet, which has all the shows and the content in a spreadsheet for you, which you can download and use as you wish. Should you want it as a PDF file, we've also created it as a PDF. And Ellen is going to update this on a weekly basis so that if you want to search and have more searchable content in our shows, then this is a way in which you can find specific things that we've talked about in the past episodes. Thank you, Ellen, so much for doing this. So I hope that's made it easier for you. I hope you'll be able to easily move between our Monday and Thursday shows and understand the difference between a live streaming with StreamYard and a Zoom meeting, which we're doing on Mondays. Have a great day. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Seniors.
All right. So hopefully that clarifies what we're doing, and we'll certainly have this as a reference for new people coming online and people who want to go back over and look at this again. Now, the next segment we're going to have is Hewie's going to explain how to search actually the PDF files. Hewie, are you ready to roll?
Hi there. I'm Hewie Poplock for Tech for Seniors, and I'd like to show you a new feature that we have thanks to a friend of Tech for Seniors, Ellen Farnham. She put together an index of all of the Tech for Seniors shows. We've had now over 1 year's worth of weekly shows of Tech for Seniors. And now if you want to go back and find an article or an item that we covered, you can do so with this index built by Ellen. But how do you do it? Well, let's take a look. First, go to the website for Tech for Senior, no S at the end, techforsenior.com, and please make sure that you put a www in front of it, because otherwise you may not be able to find it. It has to do with our hosting. So when we do that, let's go to the Tech for Seniors page on our website, and then scroll down to where it says TFS, Tech for Senior Index. It's a folder with an XLS spreadsheet, which is Excel spreadsheet, or a PDF file on the TFS episodes and content. It's searchable for past content, but you may not know how to search for it, and that's what I'm going to try to show you today. Let's go ahead and click on the index. Now I'm in my Google Chrome browser, and because I am signed into my Google account, it may be a little bit different from what you may see, and we're going to look at it through another browser in just a moment. But I just want to show you how to do it, then we'll look at it through Firefox, and that'll give you an idea what it probably will look like on your computer. We've got a PDF file and we've got an XLS file. Let's first look at the PDF files. I'm going to double click it, And when I do, it immediately opens up the viewer from within the browser. Now, if you want to download the file and search it with your PDF program that you have on your computer, you can do so. And same thing with the XLS file. You can download it and then open it with whatever spreadsheet program that you're used to using. But if you're not used to using either of them, or you don't want to go to that extent, you just want to very quickly find what you're looking for, you can do so right from the browser. So let's take a look at what I'm talking about. When was the article about colorizing a picture? In order to find it in a PDF file, we have to come over here to the three dots in the top right and do a find. We click on find. We are going to type in the word that we want to find. I'm going to type in colorize. If I hit enter, or if I hit either the up or down arrow, the X closes it. But let's just hit enter. It will go to the first case and is only seeing 1 of 1, but it is telling me that it was in episode 6. It was from Hewie, me, and it was colorize it, and that's what I talked about in that episode. But I know that Dewey talked about colorizing, but why isn't it showing up? Well, the reason why is he didn't say colorize, he said colorizing. So to get a better handle on what you're looking for, you might want to do a different search and just type in the word color. So that would handle colorize, color it, colorize it, colorizing, and so on. So when I do it and then press enter, now there's 3 instances. The first one, we come down here and you can see that it's highlighted here as colorizing black and white photos, and that was Dewey in episode 24. If I continue the down button, now there's the one from me about colorizing it, and then there's another article or another item that we covered in that same program of episode 6 about Art Picasso has colorization like painting and so on. You can be careful how you phrase the word. What you're looking for, you might want to make it just the stem of the word, not the entire word. Now, if I wanted to change this and add colorize, I can't do it. What you have to do is close it out and then do it again. And then start from scratch. Okay, so that's using the PDF. So now let's go back. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to look at the XLS file. Now on my computer, it's a little bit different. And I'm signed into my Google account. It sees it as a spreadsheet, not as a browser program, but as a spreadsheet program on my computer. I have to search in a different way. You go to Edit and Find and Replace, but we're not going to replace, we're going to find. We're going to use the same search item, and instead of saying colorize, I'm going to say color to make sure that we find what we want. Come down here to Find and click OK. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I can just slide it over, slide it out of the way, and you'll see here's colorizing with Dewey and episode 24. We'll hit the Find button again, and it finds the next episode with the word color in it, and that was episode 6, and that was my colorizing. If I try to do it again, it comes and finds that third one, the same as we did with the PDF file. So we can find it in all 3. And when you're done, you just click done, and that goes away. You can close that out and go back to your Tech for Seniors. So this time, let's open it up in Firefox. We're going to now go again to Tech for Seniors. We're going to slide down and come to Tech for Senior Index and click on it. You'll see that it's a little bit different presentation. So let's again go to the PDF first, and it's the exact same thing. We can come up over here, we go to Find, and again we type in the word color and press enter, and it's found the same 3 instances. Okay, let's go back. This time, go back to the Tech for Senior. This time we're going to go to the spreadsheet. It's going to open it in the viewer within Firefox. It uses the same way of finding it by typing it in here. We press enter. It highlights it a little bit differently, but it is the same. It's one of three. Come down here, go to the next two are showing on this page, and it shows the one here. It's a little bit more difficult to find what you're looking for, but it does highlight in a different, slightly different color. It's a little bit more difficult to see, but you can find it. Again, go to Tech for Senior, go to the Tech for Senior index, and find whichever one you want to look up, and you can search within that. For Tech for Seniors, this has been Hewie Poplock. Thank you for joining.
Great, thanks, Hewie. That was really good. Yeah, that's great. So anyway, I know there'll probably be some questions about this, so we'll move those questions though into our question and answer period. Now, Dewey has a segment for us today, so I'm going to share my screen, and we will we'll play.
Good morning, friends. I'm Dewey, and my Tech Talk topic for today is, what'd you say? My Tech Talk last week was more of a med talk on strokes. Regarding my stroke, which happened during the week of May 3rd, I'm pleased to report that I've already gained back a significant amount of function on my left side, and I thank God profusely for his blessings. There's a Tech Talk, med talk type topic I've been thinking of speaking on for months. So I've decided that today is the day to talk about hearing aids. Joanne and I have at least a half dozen friends with noticeable hearing aid problems. Spending time with them can be frustrating because we have to speak louder and slower and directly at them to be understood. So why do these folks not deal with their problem? You know, almost 1/3 of people ages 65 to 74 report difficulty with hearing, and that number rises to about half by age 75, according to the National Institute of Deafness and Other Communication Disorders. Since we're talking about people aged 65 or older, common sense tells us that also includes many in our TFS group. Don't worry though, I won't ask you to raise your hands. The June 2019 issue of Consumer Reports magazine had an excellent 9-page article or report titled Sound Advice About Hearing Loss. It revealed some interesting information. The article stated that for 42% of people, the reason they didn't have hearing aids was cost. For 26%, it was because they hadn't had their hearing tested. At least that was their excuse. And for 12%, it was because they were embarrassed to wear them. In other words, stigma, you know. In addition, there are health risks with hearing loss, according to the CR article, Consumer Reports article. Seniors with a hearing loss were about 30% more likely to experience a fall, and that's big. About 40% were more likely to be depressed, and 50% were more likely to develop dementia over the 10-year study period. These are scary statistics for those willing to admit they're not hearing as well as they used to. I was blessed with excellent hearing until around my 80th birthday, which was nearly 7 years ago. That's when Joanne began nagging me to turn that thing down when I was watching TV. I was absolutely sure it wasn't my hearing and that the sound was just getting on her nerves, you know how lives can be sometimes. At my annual wellness check in September 2019, my physician offered me a quick hearing test. I, of course, told him about how great my hearing was. However, after the test, I had to eat my words. He then told me that our clinic now has a trained hearing specialist who could test me at no cost. What a deal, I thought. Being a perennial tightwad, I quickly accepted. I was surprised by the thoroughness of the test and asked him if he could do a printout. With my longtime background in audio, it was easy for me to understand where my hearing deficits were in the audio spectrum. However, when the specialist began showing me well-known name brand hearing aids costing from $3,000 to $7,000. I said, thank you very much, and I left. I accepted the truth, however, and began my own research. I soon found that June 2019 issue of Consumer Reports mentioned earlier. It's an absolutely excellent resource and a must-read for anyone contemplating hearing aids. Though this Consumer Reports article did not contain ratings of hearing aid models, Consumer Reports subscriber survey responders gave Costco Kirkland hearing aids the highest score and also rated Costco as the top hearing aid retailer. Again, this was in this June 2019 issue, which I suggest you seek out. Around the time of that Consumer Reports issue, Costco introduced their new Kirkland Signature 9.0 hearing aid. It's also known simply as the KS9, and it's the model that I chose. Now, consumerreport.org, which I subscribe to, they have subscriber reports quickly rated this new KS9 with the highest score. By the way, the KS9s are powered by number 312 batteries and are priced at $1,500 a share, which is quite a come down from a couple thousand for hearing aids. Less than 2 months ago, Costco introduced the new Kirkland Signature 10.0 hearing aids priced at $1,400 a pair. That's $100 less. I'm not certain of its technical upgrades, except that these hearing aids, these new hearing aids, are powered by lithium-ion rechargeable batteries and not the number 312s like mine. Here's a photo to show you the difference between the KS9s and the KS10. The KS10 rechargeable hearing aids are at the upper left of this photo, and the KS9 battery type hearing aids like mine are at the lower right. If you look carefully, you should be able to see that the KS10 rechargeables are slightly larger. Comparison. Rechargeables need to put in their charger case each evening, or charging overnight. The Rayovac batteries in my KS9 hearing aids last 5 days before they need to be changed out. A recharger case, as shown in the photo to the lower right, comes with the KS10. When I had my fitting at Costco in 2019, I was offered rechargeable hearing aids. I don't recall the brand, but I chose the KS9s because they were visibly smaller. I really wanted the rechargeables, but I figured it's better to have them smaller. The cost of hearing aids is not covered by Medicare. That's a shock to some people. The majority of major insurers who offer Medicare Advantage plans have at least one plan that covers hearing aids. These insurers include Humana, Aetna, and Blue Cross Blue Shield. However, some seniors may not be eligible for those plans, and the plans may have a higher premium than those that don't offer hearing aid coverage. So you kind of get what you pay for. There is no cost, however, for hearing aids for military veterans who qualify for VA healthcare benefits. I'd like to share with you my delight in having my hearing aids connected to my smartphones via Bluetooth. When I receive a phone call, I can answer it by simply tapping my either hearing aid, and I don't need to take the phone out of my pocket. And when I watch TV using my Roku streaming device, I can easily direct the TV sound to my ears with the Roku app that's on my smartphone. Joanne often prefers that because she would often rather read a book in silence. Works great for us. By the way, I think other streaming devices may do the same. While the KS9 and the KS10 hearing aids have volume controls on both the left and right hearing aids, there's also a dedicated app for smartphones that allows the wearer to adjust not only for volume and left-right balance, but also adjust for situational changes like noisy restaurants and listening to music. The app also has other advanced hearing aid settings, such as noise reduction and microphone directionality. Sorry if it sounds like I'm shilling for Costco hearing aid centers, but facts are facts. Costco is the largest hearing aid retailer in the US, Canada, and Mexico, and sells about a quarter of all hearing aids sold in these countries. Kirkland Signature hearing aids are custom made for Costco by Sonova, a huge Swiss company that manufactures 5 mainline brands of hearing aids, including the well-known brand Phonak. Sonova's companies manufacture nearly 25% of hearing aids sold worldwide. Wow, that's big. I hope this presentation has encouraged those of you with hearing problems to look into getting hearing aids. Thankfully, most hearing aids today are so small that they're seldom noticed by others. In fact, I bet you've never noticed that I've been wearing mine since before TFS began. And I can honestly say life now is better with hearing aids. Well, that's my Tech Talk story for today, and I'm surely sticking with it. Please have a great day. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next week.
Well, thanks so much. Thanks so much, Dewey. That's great. Just so everybody knows as well, Senova just bought Sennheiser, which of course is a big audio firm that makes, of course, speakers and all sorts of things. And they are going to be bringing out, with Sennheiser, they're going to be getting into the hearing aid market, where they're going to be bringing out hearing aids which do not need an audiologist. In other words, the hearing aids you put on your ears will actually do all the testing themselves within the software. So it'll be even cheaper for you. So this is interesting feature that's coming out. All right, Ray, are you getting ready here? I'll just say goodbye to those on our YouTube channel and we'll get you going. Thank you very much for all those of you who are over on our YouTube channel for coming. We will see you again next week, same time, same place. And I'm going to turn it over now to Ray, and you can get going with your segment.
All right, here I go. First thing I want to say is, before I go on, is Ellen Farnham. Both Ron and Hewie mentioned her. Ellen is actually part of my Payson Computer Club group in Payson, Arizona. And I want everybody to know Ellen, and I did not talk to Ellen and suggest she do this. She volunteered to do all this work on her own. And that's what all computer clubs really need, is people like Ellen who are willing to volunteer and do things. So thank you, Ellen, so much. All right, so last week I talked about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame coming out with 2 new inductees in the year 2021, and it was Carole King and Tina Turner. Now, and they've both been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame already, but now they're being entered as individual artists. So last week was Carole, this week is going to be Tina. This woman has received more music industry awards and honors than I have room to list here. Her humble beginnings are, though, what make American success stories so great. She was born in November 1939, Anna Mae Bullock, in a very tiny rural, unincorporated Tennessee town of Nutbush. And her first released recordings was as Little Ann on the song Box Top way back in 1958. Actually, there's a video of that song, the audio anyway, on YouTube. But it was a year earlier that she met her husband-to-be, Ike Turner. Now, Ike has been in the music business going back to 1951. His band played on the Jackie Brenston song Rocket 88. That is often cited by music experts as one of the first rock and roll songs. So they married in 1962, and for the next decade had success as the Ike and Tina Turner Review. But the physical and emotional abuse that Tina suffered in her relationship with Ike, who became addicted to cocaine, took its toll, and after a 16-year rocky marriage, they divorced. Now, for most singers, that would have been the end of the story, but not for Tina Turner. In the 80s, she reinvented herself in what today is considered one of the greatest comebacks in music history. Her 1984 album, Private Dancer, contained the hit song, What's Love Got to Do With It, won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year. At the age of 44, she was the oldest female solo artist to top the Hot 100. Tina remade herself when most of her contemporaries were hitting the oldie circuit. Tina retired from the music industry in 2009 after completing a record-breaking tour that marked her 50th year in the music business. Tina remarried in 2013 to Erwin Bach and now lives full-time in Switzerland, but sadly she suffers from several serious illnesses. Nonetheless, for many, she will always be the queen of rock and roll. Eros Ramazzotti is a singer and songwriter who is immensely popular in Europe. He sings in both his native Italian as well as Spanish. Here he is with Tina in 1998. Now, this is only 1 year shy of her 60th birthday at a performance in Munich, Germany, where they perform as a duet his major European hit, Cose della Vita, translated to mean things in life. A 50-year career in music is something
Wow.
pretty special.
How old is she? How old would she be now, right?
She was born in 1939, so I guess she'd be 80, 81.
Yeah, I think of her back in those days. I guess. Wow, that's really great. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yep, you're welcome.
It is the top of the hour, where we move into the question and answer period. I'm going to, first of all, I want to thank everyone for coming. If you have to leave, that's fine. We are recording this, so you can watch it, play it back. For those of you who have to leave, we will see you, even though it will be a holiday next Monday. Your hardworking Tech for Senior crew works even on holidays. We work all the time, right, Bob and Hewie and Ray? We are working our little buns off for you. Doesn't matter whether it's snow, sleet, holidays, or whatever. We're always here for you. Yeah. And of course, we'll see you back here.
Yeah, I'll be flipping hamburgers at the same time we're doing this show.
At the same time, the same place next week. Now, for the question and answer period, as you all know, you have a little button at the bottom called reactions. If you click that button, you'll do just like Dewey. You'll pop up to the top and you will be able to be seen and recognized. Otherwise, we can't see you because there's too many people. And here's Joanne. Joanne is here. Dewey, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I apologize for my rather laggardly delivery today during the presentation. I was very tired last night when I recorded it, and I figured I'd stop because I didn't think I could do any better. So
I think you did a great job. Thank you so much. I learned a lot from it today.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, no, you did a really good job, and we look forward to next week.
Well, I've already planned it.
Good for you. Murray, what have you got for us today?
Okay, well, I finally bought you some coffee.
I saw that.
But,
thank you so much.
But I am not too happy with the Ko-fi website. First of all, it absolutely would not let me do it unless I put in a mobile phone number. It just said plain will not let you pay without it. And the second thing is that I really wanted to be charged in the dollar currency of my credit card, and I tried doing the US one. Well, maybe it was because of lack of mobile number, but whatever it was, I couldn't use my US credit card. And I see I've been charged US dollars on my Canadian credit card, so I always resent the extra bank fees if I have to pay that way. But anyway, I do thank you for all your work.
Not their fault. All right. We appreciate your donation. I will say that when I did set it up, I had the opportunity of, you can set it up for the currency you want to receive it, and I set it into US dollars. So that is why it does convert if you are Canadian making the donation.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they converted it, but right. I would rather they just did it in Canadian dollars. But anyway.
Yep. Okay, thanks.
Then the other comment I wanted to make about was hearing aids. I've had hearing aids for quite a few years, but I just mentioned when I had to get my driver's license, I put it off for a few years because I knew I needed glasses. I got my first glasses. When I put them on, it was, wow, the world was open to me. I could see. And I went and got my driver's test 5 minutes later. But when I got my hearing aids, it's not quite the same. You get the hearing aids, and for about a week, man, the noise, they're everything noisy. You can hear every crinkle of paper. Run the faucet, it sounds like Niagara Falls. And so just sort of a warning to people who have never had hearing aids. It's not like when you get glasses. There's quite a bit of adjusting you have to do to get used to them. And then the third thing is that I had a computer disaster. I finally got it recovered, but I really messed up my a laptop, and it took me pretty well all week to get it going again. Anyway, those are my comments for today, and thank you for a good show.
Thanks, Murray.
Thanks, Murray.
Yeah, Carl, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I tried the space bar. It didn't work for me for some reason. Anyway, I'm in the process for me and my girlfriend to replace our LG V30 phones, which are about 3.5 years old now. And I was looking into the options from my T-Mobile dealer. I'm basically a Sprint user for 20 years. And their equivalent would be a V60 in the LG or a Samsung M21. And I just looking for any comments. If anybody has, I know most of the people on here are iPhone users.
I don't really think it, I think you have to look at the specifications of each one. Both those are fine phones. I think it really depends on what you want to use the phone for, and look at the resources that you're going to need. I like the idea that you're getting it through the T-Mobile. I think is a good provider, and I like the idea that you're buying it from T-Mobile. I think both those phones are good phones. I think you have to look at the specific features of each one and see what's best for you, really. I don't think you can go wrong with either of those two.
I'm happy with my Pixel 5.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what car do you want to buy, right? It's like when you go to the car dealer and which one do you want to get?
Pixel is rated very, very high on the camera quality and lots of other things.
Yeah.
And one of the things with the Pixel is, if you like lots of photos, they're exempt from the
from the fees. But again, it depends on what you're paying for the phone, if it's part of a contract, and there's lots of things you have to look at, and it depends on what you want to do with the phone as well. If you're going to be if its primary goal is to use it as a camera and as a photographer, maybe you want to look at something that has a really great camera or something. But really, I must say that I think all cell phones now take great pictures. I mean, it's how great is great, but I think they all do a very good job. So I don't think you can go wrong with either of those two.
My suggestion, Carl, would be whatever models you consider, go to YouTube and watch reviews.
Yeah, watch some reviews on them.
There's some reviews, and they'll tell you the good and the bad and the ugly and you can then decide on your own.
Dewey, thank you. It's an obvious thing. You don't think about it, but that's the kind of advice I was looking for.
All right, Greg, go ahead.
Starlink report.
Yeah, so what's happening? How fast?
Well, it's 3:56 just a couple of minutes ago, and my upload speed was over 31.
Upload 31, eh?
Yeah. Hey, Dewey, good job. Even if you were sleepy and tired, you still do a good job.
Well, thank you very much.
Excellent. And Roberta, go ahead.
You're muted. Unmute
Roberta,
yourself.
you're still
Roberta.
muted. Hit the space bar there.
Okay.
There
I've
you go.
been using a prepaid phone account with AT&T forever, and I want to get an iPhone watch, Apple Watch, and they won't do that with a prepaid account. What's a good provider that will give me inexpensive service that I can hook up to an Apple Watch?
Since you're a senior, T-Mobile has excellent service for seniors. We pay $55 a year, $55 a month for 2 lines.
Right.
Wow.
But Roberta, the first
Please
thing you have to
remember
know,
that you need to look for a service that is operating where you are.
Area.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. But Roberta, the first thing you have to know is that if you're going to use an Apple Watch, you need an iPhone. All right, so that's
I have an iPhone, but it's
Okay.
an old one, but it'll work.
yeah. So that's the first thing, and then like Bob and Dewey said, it depends on the service provider in the area you're in. Once you've decided on the, and you may want to. I will tell you that the Apple Watch 7 is coming out quickly. It'll probably be out in the next, probably in September. So currently, it's the 6 is the current version of it. There will be lots of significant improvements in the 7. So it depends on what you're looking for, but there will be a new model of Apple Watch coming out very shortly. And I'm going to do a segment next week. Watch next week. I'm sort of committed on it now. There's a whole bunch of changes that have occurred this last week. Like it's blowing everything all confusing and da 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 da. And I'm going to sort of put it all together and do a segment. It'll be on update on watches next week.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. Yes, Murray, you have another question from Murray.
Well, it's not a question. I just want to mention that I had an LG phone that I loved. I lost it, and I replaced it with a Samsung Galaxy something or other. And I've got to say that I've never really been happy with it. I finally broke down and got an iPhone. I managed to get one, use one at a pretty, not actually used. It still was in its box, but it wasn't from a store. It was from a private seller who had gotten it for some reason and didn't need it because he already had one. But anyway, I will say that I joined the Apple community only because I still got so disgusted with the way that basically the problem is the interface keeps dying, and it takes me 5 times sometimes to unlock it. So I don't even know if the LG is making good ones anymore, but just for your comments, I had bad luck with one of the Samsungs.
Okay, thank you. Dewey, you had a question?
I just wanted to comment to Murray, who made the comment about hearing aids that they were extremely loud. Everyone's going to have an adjustment, but if your hearing aids are properly adjusted by by Costco or wherever you're getting them, it shouldn't be that big a problem. I had a minor adjustment needed, and Costco took care of it right away, and I quickly adjusted to the hearing aids without a lot of problem.
Yeah, it's not a matter of adjusting the hearing aids. It's a matter of getting used to, after not being able to hear those sounds, all of a sudden they seem so loud. After a few days, the problem goes away, but it's not like glasses where it's instantaneous. It takes a little while to accustom your ears to it.
The other thing,
I've had the same problems with glasses. In fact, I had a horrible problem a few years ago adjusting to a new pair.
The other thing that's going to be interesting, and this is going to be coming out in a big way. As you know, Sanofi just bought, as I mentioned earlier, Sennheiser. And one of the big issues that's coming out with hearing aids is the self-adjusting hearing aid that you don't need to see a doctor or an audiologist, which is sort of interesting. Now, you might say, well, oh gosh, this isn't, but like Dewey pointed out, there's a lot of people with hearing problems and a lot of people that should have hearing aids, but a lot of people that just can't afford hearing aids, right? And so there is a movement now, and there are producing hearing aids that auto adjust. And this is one of Sanofi's big play that's coming with purchasing Sennheiser is, and you can buy these now where you actually have hearing aids in which they are self-adjusting and you don't need to see a doctor or an audiologist. You simply order them up, they come, and then they are self-adjusting through the app on your phone. I'm not saying it's for everybody, but it is about half the cost. I think they're around $600 or $700. We might even do some reviews on those and talk a little bit about that. I think it's interesting. The reviews so far that I looked at with those was that they're quite large, and it's sort of like buying a car that's 6 or 7 years old. It's a bit clunky compared to the newer ones. But it is interesting that this is a new way that they're moving with hearing aids. But Dewey, thanks so much for doing that, because it is in our group and Tech for Senior, it is a common problem, right?
What?
Yeah. What? What?
And larger hearing aids sometimes don't matter. If you don't care the fact that you're losing your hair, you won't care. You just care whether you can hear or not hear.
Yes, true. Carl, go ahead.
You're still muted, Carl.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be any background noise interfering. I just wanted to comment to everybody that some years ago I had cataract surgery, like probably most of us, and I was talked into getting it called Restore Lens, RESTOR, and they're a combination near and far sight. As you know, when you get cataracts, you choose either near sight vision or far sight, and you get glasses for the other. And I was talked into it, and I want to warn anybody to don't do it. I had to have my surgeries done twice. It cost me $4,000. I lost the money. The Restore lens is made with conical grooves in the lens. And what happens is, if you see how water, when you put pencil in water, how you get a refraction. And what I was getting was every time I saw a tail light on a car or a headlight on this from a light pole, I saw all these multiple rings, like 50 feet, 100 feet in diameter. I could not drive the vehicle. I learned later that pilots are not allowed to have those lenses, or anybody in a safety environment wear those lenses. And I'm just warning you, don't be very careful. If you are told you can get a lens that corrects for both at the same time, you're going to run into a refractive index issue.
Thanks, Carl. Any other questions?
I was going to comment on the hearing on the lenses. I was tempted to do this. I happened to meet a guy on the ferry who had just had cataracts, and what he had done was he had one eye corrected for farsighted and for distance, the other one for near, and he loved it because you don't have that problem with Restore. I quickly decided I didn't want that, but anyway, he loved it because your brain is so smart when it comes to vision. He could both read close up and see far distance, and he didn't really notice that it was different eyes that were doing it. But anyway, that's another option that you could think about. But as I say, the problem with that making that choice is it costs so much, and you don't want to have to do it over again. And if you make a mistake, it's a pretty big mistake.
Thanks, Murray. Carl, go ahead. Did you have something else?
Well, just an additional comment that wouldn't work for me because the difference in my vision was huge. It was, like 30, whatever the measurement is different. So one, it would be difficult to do that.
And Carol, go ahead.
Yes. Is it important to have a VPN installed on your computer?
Good question. Is that important? Well, Bob, do you want to answer that?
Since we're all old folks, that depends.
It depends. Oh, Bob.
Where are you using the computer? If it's on your home network, why go through the added expense? That is a secure connection. If you're staying at a hotel and you're using your laptop, the answer is yes.
So if you're traveling, you do not check into your checking account or whatever at the hotel.
Unless you're using a VPN. And then you have to be careful because your bank will still balk unless it already knows you're going to be in a certain place. Because your bank expects you to be at a certain location. If you're not, they'll think somebody else is trying to get into your bank account.
So you're safe at home then?
Yes.
Without a VPN?
Provided you follow best practices and your router is kept safe, yes, you don't need a VPN at home.
How do I know if my router is kept safe? I'm the only one.
Does it have a default password and have you changed it? Or is it still the default password that I can just simply get from the internet?
I don't know.
Okay, if you don't know, I would suggest that you check with your internet service provider.
And ask them what question?
Whether or not your password can be found on the internet. The default password can be found on the internet.
Got it. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Dorothy,
welcome.
did you have, sorry, thanks, Bob. Dorothy, do you have a question?
No, I have a comment about.
Okay, go ahead.
I used to work in the optical field many years ago. If you get a distance lens in one eye and a reading lens in the other eye, you don't have depth perception. So it's dangerous when you're driving.
Okay. Thank you so much.
That's
Yep.
not a really good idea to do.
Yeah, okay.
And
John
when I-
Flower has a question.
Sorry?
John Flower has a question.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention to anybody who happens to be a veteran, they do provide some very good hearing aids for us down south here
Great.
Through the VA.
through the VA, right?
Yeah. That's great. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And
The
and
VA
Dewey-
often uses phonak hearing aids.
yes,
Sorry?
yes.
I think the Canadian armed veterans also get a
Yes, sir.
good deal on hearing aids.
Probably.
All right. If that is the end of our questions, it is now 25 minutes past the hour. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Thank you for.
I just wanted to mention one quick thing regarding eyeglasses. There's a wonderful eyeglass lens material called Trivex, Trivex, developed by Pittsburgh Plate Glass. It's if your prescription will qualify for you using it, I strongly advise it. It's great.
Thank you, Dewey. We'll see everyone next week, same time, same place, same ID number. And now you know how to find everything. Please come and see us on Thursday. Now you know how to find our streaming service on Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. We have Heather Crafter on. Heather is a fireball. She is a great person. We'll have Heather on for our show on Thursday at 9 o'clock over on YouTube or Facebook. Till next week. Have a great week. Hewie?
And do take a look at the index.
Yes.
And a lot of the indexes not only tell you what episode number, but it also gives you the time that we talked about that particular item.
Yes, great. All right. See everyone next week. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.